My friend, you won't believe what's happening behind the scenes at the Buffalo Bills. Tempo is facing serious issues with receivers, and it looks like General Manager Beane is about to make a surprising move. An exclusive source suggests the Bills could pull off a trade no one expected. We're talking about a 5-time Pro Bowler, capable of breathing new life into Josh Allen's offense. I've gotten some juicy details, not yet reported by major outlets, about what's being planned with the Baltimore Ravens and the impact it could have on the season. But before I reveal everything, if you truly love the Bills, like and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next could completely change the Buffalo air raid rumor mill. The Buffalo Bills are facing a glaring issue at wide receiver, and rumors are spreading quickly. Tempo may be looking to trade for 5-time Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins to give Josh Allen the weapon he desperately needs. Through the first 6 games of 2025, Buffalo's receiving core has been underwhelming. Keon Coleman and Joshua Palmer have struggled to make consistent plays, while Khalil Shakir and tight end Dalton Kincaid are being asked to carry more than their share of players. Allen doesn't have enough reliable targets, and with the trade deadline approaching, General Manager Beane may need to step up. Fan-sided analyst Christopher Klein predicts Buffalo could strike a deal with the Baltimore Ravens to bring Hopkins to New York, or more accurately, Buffalo. Hopkins signed a 1-year, $5 million contract with the Ravens this season, and while he showed flashes of his former elite form with a healthy Lamar Jackson, his production has cooled. 9 receptions in 6 games may not sound impressive at first glance, but his 19.8 yards per reception average proves he can still stretch the field and dominate in one-on-one matchups on the sideline. Hopkins may not be the same WR1 he once was, but in a room where Coleman and Palmer are struggling to prove themselves, he represents a clear improvement, at least until the young receivers step up. The Ravens, with a 1-5 record and likely out of playoff contention, could view Hopkins, who will become a free agent in 2026, as a tradable asset. Acquiring even a 3rd-round pick before he leaves for free would be a smart strategic move, giving Baltimore something in return during what appears to be a lost season. Of course, there are obstacles. Buffalo's salary cap is tight, and trading a player of Hopkins' caliber won't be easy. But if there's ever a time to pick up the phone, it's now, before the negotiating window closes. The Bills need playmakers, Allen needs reliable weapons, and the clock is ticking. What makes this scenario even more intriguing is that Hopkins isn't the only name in the mix. Buffalo already has a roster of wide receivers who could be damaged by a trade. Some may be more affordable than Hopkins, and some may even offer long-term value beyond the current season. But before we get too excited about who else could land in Buffalo, it's worth emphasizing the impact a veteran like Hopkins could have. His experience, route accuracy, and ability to win contested catches could give Allen a boost in the passing game that he hasn't had in months. A conversation within Buffalo's front office is undoubtedly intense. Should they pursue a high-level veteran with a storied track record, or should they pursue younger, more affordable targets who can help now and in the future? Every missed game, every dropped pass, every pressure on Allen counts, and the Bills can't afford to wait too long. If Hopkins comes to Buffalo, he could immediately become their most dangerous threat in the passing game, forcing defenses to adjust and giving the offense the spark it so desperately needs. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. If that trade doesn't happen, the Bills have other options waiting in the wings. Names like Jacoby Myers and Chris Olave are on their radar, ready to step in and provide Allen with the weapons he craves. But that's a topic for a later moment. Right now, the focus is on Hopkins, the ticking trade clock, and Buffalo's potential 2025 season turnaround. Josh Allen needs help, the Bills need answers, and the trade deadline could bring the shockwave this offense craves. And if you thought DeAndre Hopkins' arrival was the only solution, think again. The Bills still have other trade targets up their sleeve, which could be the pieces that finally give Josh Allen the arsenal he needs in the passing game. If the DeAndre Hopkins trade doesn't materialize, the Bills have backup options, and some are interesting. Imagine giving Josh Allen a younger, more durable WR1 ready to produce immediately. Buffalo's trade radar now includes Jacoby Myers and Chris Olave, among others. The Raiders' Jacoby Myers is requesting a trade this offseason and is playing for a team that's building continuity. He's coming off a 1,000-yard season in 2024 and is on track to remain productive in 2025. As a player approaching free agency, the Raiders might consider trading him rather than losing him for free. Myers would bring reliability and route-running accuracy to Buffalo, something Allen desperately needed. The Saints' Chris Olave has been productive when healthy. Despite injuries in 2024, he had 2 1,000-yard seasons early in his career. New Orleans is in a rebuilding phase, and Olave could be available for a trade to regain draft capital. For Buffalo, he offers consistency and big playability, the kind of receiver who can transform an offense and open up space for Allen. Other names the Bills could explore include Rashid Shaheed, who expands builds defenses vertically, and Calvin Ridley, although his situation is more complex due to contract issues and injuries. Even A.J. Brown appears on some wish lists, although a trade would be challenging given his contract length with the Eagles. Buffalo needs a WR1 now. Whether it's Hopkins, Myers, or Olave, Allen needs weapons he can trust. If these moves don't happen, the Bills risk falling behind in a competitive AFC, raising questions about whether Allen will succeed with the current roster. While the Bills evaluate these options to strengthen the offense, another pressing issue looms. The roster still faces significant injury doubts that could completely alter what will be available for the upcoming games. The Buffalo Bills' struggles aren't limited to the trade market. Injuries are affecting their playing time at crucial positions. After the loss to the Falcons, the Bills announced the signings of wide receiver Joshua Palmer, running back Christian Benford, and running back Terrell Bernard. Palmer, who had 2 receptions for 60 yards in the first half, including a 45-yard catch, left the game with an ankle injury and was relegated to outside. His absence leaves a role for already limited receivers even more vulnerable. Christian Benford left early with an Achilles injury but returned in the third quarter, signaling he could still contribute, although every step he takes is monitored. Terrell Bernard sprained his ankle in the first half and is listed as questionable. Losing a linebacker of his caliber would weaken Buffalo's run defense and interior coverage, putting more pressure on an already overstretched defense. These situations reinforce the urgency of the draft Bills to add depth. Palmer's absence exacerbates the wide receivers problem, Benford's status increases the risk for the secondary, and Bernard's questionable health could compromise the defense's structure. Every roster decision now carries more weight. On offense, Josh Allen expressed frustration with missed opportunities, acknowledging that his time has left its mark on the field. The Bills have a bye week coming up, but time is running out. Negotiations, recovery timetables, and coaching adjustments need to be made quickly. If Buffalo wants to stay in contention, the next 2 weeks could define the season. With the Bills' passing attack in crisis, would the potential return of DeAndre Hopkins or the arrival of players like Jacoby Myers and Chris Olave be enough for Josh Allen to regain his rhythm, even with the recent injuries to Palmer, Benford, and Bernard? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Buffalo Bills news.